What is going on, everyone? It's the Reverse Scoop Cricket Weekly podcast with AB and Nabil. What's going on, Nabil?
I'm doing good, AB. I like what you did there, man. That's cool.
I'm getting better with rolling and quick off that intro. I think we're all coming through
Absolutely.
nice and live over here, looking good. What a week! Plenty happening over here. How was your week? How was your week?
It was the week was good, man. I got some time to go get a haircut, get cleaned.
Oh yeah, you look nice. You look
For
nice and trim
for
over
weekly
there.
Tuesday night cricket weeklies. But unfortunate to hear some news coming out of USA Cricket. After some good performances, albeit where our players, turned it up in those matches against Namibia and got a big win, but off the
Big
field
win.
and administrative
Big win.
issues, as well as an odd job scenario, which we're gonna go over a little bit
Wow.
later on, right?
Before
Odd
we
job scenario.
get into everything, I think maybe we go a little good news, bad news first. I think maybe let's start with that. Got to give you a shout out. Shout out to the Eagles, big Super Bowl win. I know you're a big Eagles fan. Shout out to the Eagles.
Absolutely.
How was that? Big celebrations for you.
Oh man, huge
Eagles?
celebrations. They creamed it as I knew their D was so good and made Mahomes look like a chicken. But
It was a great. I mean, it was weird. I don't know how everyone else feels if you're a fan of NFL. And we have a lot of mostly cricket fans, but it's one of those games that everyone watches, regardless of what sport you're into or where you are. Everyone watches it. And for me, I had no dog in the fight. I was like, I couldn't care for Kansas, couldn't care for the Eagles. And I think I took all of like 3 minutes and 30 seconds for that first penalty flag to get thrown. And I'm like, I'm an Eagles fan now. I'm going for the Eagles.
Absolutely, man. You have to be there. Their team is so
I'm going for the
dominant.
Eagles. And I was dialed in. And it was so bizarre to like see the emotion from the people that I was watching it with, where it was like, none of us were Eagles fans. We were cheering every time they did something because we just wanted Kansas to lose.
Yeah. No, it was insane, man. The Super Bowl was fun. I'm sure all of our viewers had a good time watching it. We had some boxes going around the group, and everybody chipped in, and there were some good winners, and so congrats to all those guys. Congrats to the Eagles on pulling off an amazing Super Bowl win. But on to the track now, man. USA Cricket, is Oman tour, which is an absolute mess right now with no physio, no sponsors, and now a major off-field scandal. Adam, how did we get here, man? And who's responsible? Can you help me break this down today?
Stuart Lure. He can't help himself. No. So to catch everybody up, what's going on here? We'll go back one more step. Okay. Team USA is over in Oman, in Namibia. We're over in the Middle East somewhere, over that part of the world somewhere. We're playing in the CWC League 2. We're trying to qualify for the World Cup. We're playing against Namibia. Okay. And we win. We have a nice win. We have a big win against Namibia. Let's go, Team USA.
Shout out to Milan Kumar, all-around performance. 4 wickets.
Yeah, we're gonna have to really get into that later. A lot of good performances. Andre Scouse, Patel, Kumar, great all around from USA. But what's taking headlines? Well, what isn't taking headlines? What's making Nabil's front page and the USA Cricket front page is that there's a bit of an off-field scandal going on here. Team USA's got no physio, they got no sponsors, they got no one in the dressing room to help them out, and an unnamed player gets injured and needs help, and there's no one to go see, so they got to go see the Oman physio, like the other team's physio. Even Oman can afford a physio. We are the United States of America. How do we not afford? How do we not afford a physio? We're a national cricket team. This is the United States of America, people. So Oman, who's not even an ICC like top nation in the world, they're fighting it out in CWC League 2 also. Yeah. They can afford a physio. So the unnamed player goes to the physio. They say, no, we're not going to use your physio. And then also in this mix is we have this random person who we're calling the odd job person, who does a bit of everything for Cricket USA. Odd job person who does a bit of everything.
Coined by
and they, I'm going to use political correct terms. They try to get a massage or look in with the physio of the Namibian team or the Oman team, and things went a little pear shaped over there. And turns out, if you missed it from like back last year, Stuart Law was the coach of Team USA, and now he's helping out. Is it Namibia or Oman he's working for? One of them. He's working for one of the other teams.
He is Namibia's consultant.
Consultant.
Okay, so he's for Namibia.
So he's working. Coach. Yeah. So Team USA just played against their old coach they just fired, and now he's involved in it all too. And it's a big holy Moses situation going on over there.
Well, the story that was put out by Peter Della Penna, right? Again, he said that Stuart Law jumped in to the situation when the odd job person asked for a massage, and he got into the situation, and he clearly said no. He said no means no. You can't be getting or even requesting that. It's very inappropriate. It's not professional at all. So that's where he jumped in. But the initial request that was denied for not letting the actual player who needed the treatment use the physio was the head coach of Namibia, Dave Bruin, I believe is his name.
Wow.
Who's the actual head coach. So he denied the request for the physio, which they were within their rights to, in my opinion. I mean, if it was my team, I probably would have said no too. I would have said no, go get your own physio. You know what I'm saying?
Let's say they're in, like, it's one of those situations where if someone gets injured in a sporting game, like let's say on club level, like sometimes only the home ground has the physio. Sometimes, and not every team has the physio. Sometimes the whoever's on request for the stadium, maybe it's stadium staff, or you may not have your person. Sometimes it's like, obviously for like we see big international games, everyone should have their own physio. But I think when it comes to injury, like, help your person out. Like, did cricket win today? No, cricket did not win today. There was no good story. There was no like, oh, someone tore their hammy. The other physio came over and helped them out, and then everyone's happy again. That's not today's story. Today's story is someone got injured, no one could help them, and then the person that could have helped them helped themselves, I guess. It's just whatever happened. But like, it's one of those things where like,
no, but the injury was actually after a practice session. No, so you got to understand the context, right? The context was where the injury happened after a practice session, and their player requested, hey, I think I'm injured, we have a game tomorrow and I need some treatment, right? And they didn't have anybody to provide treatment. And it wasn't like they were within a game situation or a game scenario. It was at a point where there was after a training session perhaps, and they said no, fine, figure it out.
I'm going back to this is the United States of America. How can you not afford a physio? That's what I'm
absolutely, man.
Like, I don't know how much money USA Cricket.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, there's issues there too. The issues there was there was visa issues they were saying. Where certain players didn't get visas to travel out to Oman, and I think Shayan Jahangir was one of them who didn't get visa to go out to India, I believe. And then they were in 2 weeks in India before the Oman tour, and they never announced the pre-tour camp and all of this. Even the physio is believed to have been somebody who didn't get a visa, but it is being said that it's probably more so because of the lack of incompetence of the management rather than us actually being denied a visa. Those are just actual reasons that they're giving us. But there was incompetence in the back end going on.
I mean, as a two-country passport holder who's got multiple visas to go to multiple countries, it isn't that difficult to get a visa for a country. I mean, if you're a United States citizen, it's pretty easy. I mean,
yeah, well, not if you have a Pakistani background, and even if you're playing for USA, they may not let you in India. A lot of the time, that's where they have a lot of the issues. If you're even like a Pakistani origin, you probably won't get a visa to get into India. So that could have been an issue for them as well. Certain players not having the visa to go out there for a warm-up tour and not, and then being in the squad and yet they were still not approved to go to Oman for their first ODI. So some of these players missed out in a couple of games, as well as some of the staff, missed out. So that's what had led to all of this, and it's a sad scenario, we obviously want to know from our viewers, if Namibia was right to refuse USA's request for a physio, should USA Cricket have been better prepared, type yes or no into the chat right now and let us know, what you guys think, if Namibia was right to refuse, for the physio. And I think they were well within their rights, obviously, but they could have, maybe still offered it and, call it a day. But on the other end, the inappropriate thing, odd job. Let's get to odd job now, because
you're so into this odd job scenario. This is big news over here.
It's unreal.
There are like actually plenty of physios that come up on my Instagram page. I mean, like TikTok all the time. Like physios is like a thing now where people like, very openly film and put the physio out. And it's obviously a, male football players, like, so mostly it's soccer players with a female physio. And, it's part of the job. It's part of the job. It's one of those things where it's, you got to do what you got to do. I get physio, I get chiro, I used to get, what do you call it? Acupuncture, all those things, massage, it's a normal thing in sport. So if someone's taking advantage of a situation, especially when you're overseas and there's a lot of stuff around and going on, then, just fire them and move on. It's one of those things. Get fired, move on. Yeah,
absolutely, man. I mean, it's what else can they do, man? I mean, it's if it happened in an American sports league, like what would be the punishment, for example, right? Like if it happened in any other league or any other cricket, they would probably be reprimanded hard. And what are we trying to do? We're trying to, again, put it under the rug, the way we like to work with a cloak, and kind of disguise everything. So that's
they get to put it under the rug because no one's asking questions. Like, there's no media. It's like, like if it's like Australian, like I follow now a lot of my Australian media, and they'll post anything about anyone in sports. Like, doesn't matter if they do anything wrong. They'll be, go to their court case or they'll follow it. Oh, there's an accusation of this, accusation of that. And it's everywhere. It's going to be on every nighttime news show. And over here, cricket is such a bottom of the table conversation topic that, this stuff can happen and no one's going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Maybe the people that are following USA Cricket may hear it through, Peter Delapenner, getting his inside scoop kind of thing. And it's why it's stuff like this that he uncovers, which is the unfortunate reason why they don't like having him around, because he finds out all this stuff. And it's like, this is what journalism is. You don't just like knock the person back for telling the story. That's the point of journalism. But they're so far down the ladder in sports media that no one's going to pick it up. And it's not going to get huge, like, mainstream attention. So it'll just go unnoticed and move on. Over we go.
No, absolutely, man. That's why we're here covering it, because I got to feel like that we have a responsibility to let people know, what's going on and just call spade a spade. When they do something good, we talk, waves about it because we know they've done something good. But if there's something bad as well, you got to bring it up front and foremost so you can handle it for, not to be repeated again. But it seems like we have a similar pattern that we've discussed about this, right? The way things are managed and how, incompetence is shown through these kind of phases, So we want to obviously figure out first who Odd Job is, because I don't know. They haven't announced their the tour staff as well. So that's another thing, right? So who is Odd Job? Stuart Law's intervention, how bad is this for USA's reputation? It hurts, our reputation bad because we're obviously trying to make sure that we become better, in cricket all across the board. But these kind of incidents, they don't help.
So I feel like it's not going to make. I honestly feel like it's not going to make a huge difference because no one's going to know about it. No one's going to care about it. Like, the only thing that we hear from this is like, it's not even like the American people know that we won. Like, they don't even know we're over there. Like, there is a small pool of people that follow the USA cricket team. So, like, if these crazy things happen, it isn't like a huge thing. Like, until it gets mainstream, then it becomes a problem. And then it becomes like, oh, the US cricket team and oh, this happened and oh, that was bad. But, you know, like, as far as like the USA team, the actual physical players, they appear to do a very good job. And, you know, they should have another good game tonight. They're going to be playing in a couple of hours.
Props to the player, man, because with all this chaos and all these challenges, and they're doing super well, you know, across and performing and coming out through. So imagine with proper backing and a proper system and a proper setup and proper, you know, things that they should have. Imagine their performance where it can be, right? So I'm absolutely, you know, proud of the guys. They've done super well with all these challenges off the field. You know, but again, players obviously when they're playing, they're focused on, you know, their games and the training and whatnot, and what's going on around them is not really, you know, their business or their focus, because they have to be professionals. But, you know, that's why you don't really see what really goes on in these. They're not doing any of their own content. I'm not even sure if USA Cricket allows them to be able to do that kind of stuff.
They released a video today. They released like a training video.
I posted it all over. I reshared it, you know, because it was great. And we want to see more of that. You know, but again, you know, the problem is no transparency, lack of communication, you know, when the tours are going on, who's traveling where, what your squad looks like, what your staff looks like, having those weekly updates. It's not hard, man. Like, you know, having a person to come on weekly like we do, you know, they're USA Cricket. Sit on, give an update, see what, let people know what's happening, you know, what are the updates. And, you know, you keep everybody happy. So a lot of problems to fix for USA Cricket, you know, but that's a long,
to the win. Now let's touch on like how good we went batting and bowling. I mean, it was a good performance. I mean, we almost picked almost picked the squad to a T. I would have preferred McLemara to open, but that's fine. He was down the order. I think he was at 4. But Andreas Gas, nice 70 runs. Patel, another 50, 4 50s in a row. Like I said, I like him batting at 3. I like him batting at 4. I don't want him opening. He's got another 50. I mean, that's all you need. I mean, sure, we want the 100 all the time, but I mean, 4 50s in a row is very solid for number 3. And then Kumar gets some runs down the order, you know, and then everyone chips in with the ball, and Kumar takes 4. Kumar takes 4. Hamid takes 2, and then I think 1 from everybody else. So, you know, we did a great job there. I think it was reduced overs by like 7 reduced overs or something like that, but rolled them.
43 over game,
yeah, got it done. And I mean, that's good. Just we stay top of the table of the CWC, you know, League 2 table. And we have the next game tonight against Oman. Should do a similar result. Hopefully we bat first. Hopefully we score a lot of runs and we roll them, you know. And I think that's the way it's gonna I think it's the way it's gonna go. And it's good to see everyone back. It's good to see the stars back. You know, Jones didn't score. You know, he was everything out for less than 10, left 3 or something, 3 or 4. But, you know, everyone chip in. Let's hope he gets the runs today. But, you know, it's all good. I think it was a good win. Good win. And then it was unfortunately overshadowed by this scenario. But I think it's good things ahead for Team USA, you know?
No, absolutely, man. On field, like these guys are still like keeping their minds off of this, even with whatever's happening, you know? But again, whoever this odd job person is, you know, they were there on their first tour. First of all, the guy he replaced is a, you know, ex-USA, you know, staffer named Kirk Higgins, who's, you know, I think I'm connected with on social media. So if Kirk is on watching us, you know, Kirk, drop us a comment and let us know, you know, what you think of this scenario. But, you know, he ran this position for 8 years, from 2016 to 2024, you know, up until the T20 World Cup, and then was told over a text message, you know, by I think our current chairman, to, you know, that his services were no longer needed, essentially, right? So, so he was let go over a text message, and you know, there was, you know, some legal things going on between them as well. So there was issues there, and USA Cricket had, you know, these lawsuits piling up, and you know, I believe they, you know, also brought on PR person, I believe Mark Jones, who I also recently connected with on Facebook. So, you know, again, Peter brought this to our attention, right, through his reporting. And, you know, that's why it's clean reporting, you see what's going on, actual things. And, now Mark would have to go to work to cover all this stuff up, whatever is happening, right? It's mostly like PR crisis management. And he worked for the Colorado Rockies. He has a, background in, politics and working in Washington. So he's probably a good person to have around for strategy and all of that. But, it's a reactive approach instead of a proactive approach, which, again, is the problem here. We're hiring people to get, to solve problems before they've come on. So we're expecting problems are going to arise, and we have somebody there to go and try and fix it. So instead of having, somebody like, even if we didn't have a physio, right, you contact somebody out in Oman and you find somebody to make sure you have a physio with the team for a match day. But again, it's just the lack of those things. Yeah.
That's some rocket science stuff, man. We can't be doing that. That's too high level. That's too high level. That's too high level thinking. But I mean, that's what you do. You got to do that. I mean, you can't afford to go take your sports team across the world without a physio, with all the gear. Imagine if, you ran out of bats or you ran out of balls or whatever. I don't know. Ran out of shoes. Like, what are you going to do? Oh, borrow the other team's shoes? No, we go get some shoes. Go get some this, go get some that. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean, certainly there's some stuff you can't take on planes. Like, like if they have to take oxygen or they have to take some sort of aerosol, like sometimes that stuff can't come on a plane. You got to know how to get it in that country. You have to have that special freeze spray. You probably can't bring it on a plane. Maybe you can pack it under, but stuff like that. You got to get organized, and it's sporting teams, you look to coordinate, and someone has to be on that. And if it's not, then the team, the team suffers, but they played well. Yeah. They're going to play tonight. They're going to get another win.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're going to get another win. They'll do well. I think on field, these guys have come together and done well. But again, it's mostly the off-field stuff that have put these things down. And even the elections, I believe, they should have had elections, constitutionally in the USA Cricket 2024 got postponed. And I'm not sure, again, what's going on with elections and new board, if they'll get elected ever and, what will happen. So, that process is still pending. And, we're continuing to find ways to push it further back. So that's another scenario or situation that we gotta, drill down on in probably the next couple of episodes. So mostly the big news was that about, the physio not being available when needed, as well as the staffer, coming across and, with some, asking for a massage. So sexual harassment policy needs to probably be updated for USA Cricket. And I don't even know if they have one in place.
Probably
Last year
not.
they had a minor. They had a minor found drinking, 17-year-old with the adult players 21 plus. So they were like, man, how can we protect younger players that are playing on tours, right? Because they would be kind of
in the 80s that would just be regular. That's just regular.
Yeah, but now obviously there's questions. You have to protect player safety.
It's not the 80s, Pat. It's not the 80s, Pat.
Yeah. Player safety first, bro.
To be serious, I was an underage drinker at a cricket tour. I was just about to turn 18, so I wasn't, because 18 is Australia. You can drink in Australia. Yeah. And we took a tour of Sri Lanka. I was big enough to look 18, and they were like, "Yeah, is he 18?" And my parents were with me, and I mean, they're like, "Yeah, he's 18." So I mean,
but on a professional tour where you're 18 alone and just with your teammates professionally, I feel like there's policies in place that they have to put in to make sure these types of things don't happen, because you got to protect your liabilities at the end of the day. And that's something that they could, heavily get sued for, So
yeah. Well, I mean, there is
something
one thing
that they got to find out. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to team bonding and celebrating and whatever, like, I know I don't I have to use discretion. The Cricket Australia, I got to say, I'm somehow giving them a compliment. I'm supposed to be criticizing them always, whatever. But anyway,
always.
This is a criticism. It's a criticism. I'm just putting it out there legally. They had all the players come inside. I don't know if it was during COVID or whatnot, but they basically were forced to live in a hotel, and they were like, "Okay, what do you guys want?" And every cricketer was like, "This is what we want. We want PlayStation, Xbox." They got Dave Warner a golf simulator. They brought them espresso machines, and they basically built this like a mega mansion, incredible like situation inside of the hotel they were in, because they weren't allowed to leave the hotel. So they had the best time. Have you seen that? Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know exactly when the year that it was, but the video was like Dave Warner and all the guys back when Warner was playing. I'm pretty sure it's during COVID.
No.
Yeah, they were forced to stay. They weren't allowed to leave the hotel. So they got Cricket Australia to basically build them everything they wanted. They built a golf simulator, Xbox, all the games they wanted, and they just like stayed in the hotel for like weeks playing until they were allowed to come out to go play their games. So I mean, like it's like that stuff when you go on a tour, you have to be able to accommodate all of your players, know what's going on, and have things built into your tournament, so to your play. So you're not like having your players out in the street in the middle of the night getting drunk. You know what I mean? You have team events, you have, things they can bond with. You're forking out money to look after their welfare. You know what I mean? So things like that. But obviously, not everyone is. Maybe the Cricket USA, people aren't caught up to speed with how to do all that stuff. But
Yeah, man. I mean, we're not caught up with a lot of it. It seems like, So
we didn't even know we had a cricket team until 6 months ago. Well, 8 months ago now.
Right.
Oh man. But yeah, right, I mean,
so,
there's more news coming in from around the world right now. We've got Champions Trophy coming up. A lot of people asking in the chat about Champions Trophy, who's going to win. Pakistan looking big in the chat right now. People are all up on Pakistan winning. Australia, half the team is out. They've all dropped out of the thing. Stoinis retired from ODI cricket. You got Australia, Sri Lanka happening today. You've had a lot of ODI cricket. You got South Africa playing ODI cricket. You got Pakistan playing, New Zealand playing ODI cricket. All kind of gearing up for the Champions Trophy. I mean, as a Pakistani, I mean, you're pretty keen on Pakistan winning, right? You're like all psyched up for this thing, or what?
Well, the only reason why I'm keen on Pakistan winning this Champions Trophy is because The Simpsons predicted that Pakistan would win
the
2025 Champions Trophy.
No.
So
clip it. We'll clip it in. We're gonna make a little clip it in. I mean, we're gonna clip this. We'll roll it in. We'll make a video from it. No way.
Yeah,
really?
yeah. It doesn't make sense, I feel like, for Pakistan winning, but I saw that earlier today, and I was like, you know what? If they're predicting it, I'm going with it, man. So,
wow.
So yeah, I think Pakistan will probably win the Champions Trophy. Unpredictable nature of that team. You never know. So
that's not what I have. I have went through the whole 12 matches. I have pre-forecast the wins and losses. And I have set up my squads, how it moves through the ranks. So you want to hear what I got over here for my 12 matches?
Sure, let's see.
First game, New Zealand, Pakistan. I actually have New Zealand. New Zealand is my dark horse in this tournament right now. They're playing very well.
Yeah, they're playing super well, yeah.
They won against India, in the Test series. They've recently beat Pakistan, I think maybe yesterday. I think they're playing very well. I think New Zealand beat Pakistan. Game 1. India, Bangladesh, game 2. We could take it to India, obviously. Afghanistan, South Africa. Very close game. They've played a couple of series in the past 6 months together. I think I'm going to give actually to Afghanistan. Afghanistan is my other dark horse. I've got 2 dark horses in this race. I've got Afghanistan over South Africa. Australia versus England. I've got Australia over England, even with all of the outs. I mean, this is going to be a huge hot take right here. Pat Cummins being out isn't that big a deal. Second hot take, Hazelwood being out, not a big deal. Okay, the impact player in that lineup is Stark. Stark is playing. Okay, they've rested him. From what I've seen, they've rested him.
Actually, news is coming out. Stark withdraws from Champions Trophy.
What?
The captain. Yeah. Just
when?
Broke literally.
Seconds ago?
Maybe before our podcast started or right after it started.
Bro, like 2 hours ago, I was looking it up. I was looking at it, and they're like, "Oh, he had a little niggle."
Probably it just came up. So Stark withdraws from Champions Trophy. Smith the captain. Weak Australia to look for.
That changes my entire. That changes my entire thing. Because my
Stark is out too. Yeah,
I'm always without Mitchell Stark. We can't win. That's my thing. We lost in the T20 to Afghanistan. They dropped Stark. Yep. We lost out of the tournament. Stark out of the tournament for Champions Trophy. Throw it away. I actually might think I might actually give it to England beating Australia. Australia might lose everything. That's a real reality. Oh, they still might be England, honestly.
Yeah, Mitchell Stark has withdrawn from the Champions Trophy
That's
for personal
huge.
reasons, with Australia confirming a much-changed 15-player squad that will be captained by Steve Smith. Let me give you the breakdown of the squad. Steve Smith, captain. Sean Abbott, Alex Carey, Ben Dwarshuis. I've never heard that one before.
Ben Dorsch. Yeah, I know Ben Dorsch.
Yeah,
he can hit a ball. He's big hitter.
All right. Nathan Ellis, Jake Fraser McGurk, Aaron Hardy, Travis Head, Josh Inglis, Spencer Johnson, Marnus Labuschagne, Glenn Maxwell, Tanvir Sangha, Matthew Short, and Adam Zampa. So that's their 15. No Stark.
Yeah. Okay. So our bowlers, we have Dorsch, I think, also bowls. I'm remembering him because he had a giant 6 in the Big Bash. Yeah, that's our bowling lineup is like pretty new. That's like a new, fresh lineup right there. I mean,
there's a blow. There's a blow to India's lineup as well, as Bumrah has been ruled out.
Yeah.
So India ruled out Jasprit Bumrah. Varun Chakravarti, a late inclusion in India squad. So the Indian squad is also trying to find a way to fill in for.
I still have India beating Pakistan.
Oh yeah, I think so too. Nitish Rana is going to replace him. I think that, I think they have some good core. Even with Bumrah out, I think they'll do well to get Mohammad Shami back. Will probably, cover up for some of the loss of Bumrah, and then with a couple of the other guys, I think they'll be fine.
So I think New Zealand will beat Bangladesh. South Africa beats Australia. Afghanistan will beat England. Pakistan beats Bangladesh. Afghanistan beats Australia because there's no Mitchell Stark. South Africa beats England. New Zealand. I have New Zealand beating India. I think that is a big match. I think New Zealand can beat India, which leaves New Zealand top of the table in Group A with India. They move through. And then in Group B, Afghanistan and South Africa move through. That's my prediction.
It's possible, man. Let's name the Indian squad since I have it up here. So Rohit Sharma, captain. Shubman Gill, vice captain. Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul, Rishabh Pant, Hardik Pandya, Akshar Patel, Washington Sundar, Kuldeep Yadav, Harshit Rana, Mohammad Shami, Arshdeep Singh, Ravindra Jadeja, and Varun Chakravarti. And their traveling reserves are Jaiswal, Siraj, and Dubey. It's a strong squad, man, even without Bumrah. It's a fairly strong squad.
They can bat, man. They can bat. They can bowl. Got one of the best spinners going around. They got some work there.
I feel like even some of their T20 power players that have been doing so well, man, get them in the lineup. What's the young guy who did a century? I forgot his name, but in that T20 game, he went off. So get some of those talent in these lineups.
Yeah, question in the chat. Should the USA team target tours with countries outside of their top tier, like Pakistan, New Zealand, Sri Lanka? Should they go outside of that, or should they play with it? Well, we spoke about this a few episodes ago that there is a potential tri-series happening between Canada, USA, and Pakistan. So it would be good to see USA play in some of these other tiered, like Sri Lanka didn't make it to Champions Trophy, for example. I know they're playing Australia right now, but it could have made a lot more sense to give Australia the break, send America over there to go play Sri Lanka if they want to go play an unnecessary, test series. You know what I mean? Like Sri Lanka ain't doing nothing. It's everything right now is going to go from Champions Trophy, then roll into IPL. So, you know what I mean? Obviously, USA had to get these matches in with Oman and Namibia, but I would like to see them play against Ireland, play against, Bangladesh, play against Sri Lanka, play against the lower tier. And it's not going to be long, like I mentioned last episode. It's not going to be long until USA moves up the ladder where they are playing in that other pool. They're playing in the next pool because if we qualify, we'll be moving up the rankings. Right now we're ranked 16th, and it doesn't take long for us to overtake Canada and the Netherlands. And, we're playing at Scotland and Ireland more regularly, Bangladesh more regularly. So it's a real possibility.
Yeah, I feel like it's all about the budgets, of the board and the capacity of them being competent enough again to set up these tours and set up the, series is like the Tri-Nation series that was brought up, between the Pakistan Cricket Board CEO and the USA Cricket Board CEO when they met a few weeks earlier in Washington. And, to execute this, you obviously need, resources, and you need to have, a proper support to be able to pull it off. So I think, teaming up with, bigger boards to actually host these series and even give them part revenue in it, just so we at least can start to hold them if we don't have the resources. Because I feel like we may have, resources to do maybe one or maybe two series at home in a year. That's really about it, right? And even to travel overseas, I don't know how many we can do there. So again, it's all about that fund and being able to generate your own revenue so you can do whatever you want. A lot of the cricket boards, India, Australia, Pakistan, England, New Zealand, they set up their own series. It's not ICC telling them, hey, that you set this up now. You set this up now. They just have a network amongst those boards, and they set it up because they have the resources. And
right now,
the same
coming up
here, we don't.
I mean, what's coming up after this is like Australia is going to go to the West Indies and play over there. They're going to play Test series there. They're going to play 5 T20s. So I mean, that's like a perfect opportunity for USA to jump in on that. They're right there, right here. Texas is much closer to Jamaica than Sydney is to Jamaica. So, having the USA team jump on there, they could have made a tri-series, 6-game or whatever, little round robin tri-series over there with USA versus Australia, West Indies. Possible things can happen. It's right there.
You know what that will bring?
What that will bring?
You know what that will bring?
What?
A lot of extra work for the board, man, and the administrators. They're like, well, no, I mean, I'm happy sitting back.
Well, listen, it's not that crazy because some of those players, again, they're going to jump over to MLC. So like we're going like Champions Trophy season, IPL season. While the IPL's happening, we're going to have the Australian team over here, which means that their side is going to be less. Like it's speculation today. Like I'm going to shout out Charlie Cook over here. He speculated today that all these people dropping out from Australia from this series and Champions Trophy is because no one cares about Champions Trophy. They care about IPL. Starkey's going to get $2 million to go play for whoever he's playing with. I'm not sure what team he's on, but he's going to get $2 million. They're all Cummins and Hazelwood all get paid $2 million each a pop to go and play IPL, and they're getting paid pennies to go get and played in the Champions Trophy. And if they get injured a little more, then their IPL season goes down the drain. So I think you're going to see a very restricted side over in West Indies, and that would be a perfect opportunity to have this USA come over and play. You have an all-star USA team, have them come over against the Windies. Windies aren't doing very well right now as a cricketing nation. They're like down the bottom of the order in most of the ICC rankings for tests, ODIs, and T20s. Have USA come in there. Because like even you see today with the Sri Lankan squad, it's like basically a brand new team. It's a brand new Australian team. They brought in a whole bunch of different people. It hasn't been officially been released, but it looks like with everyone out, all the big stars out, that it's going to be basically a fresh team. So, time to that'll be the perfect time to do it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, we'll see where it heads.
We'll see where it heads.
But
in the chat, we got no way New Zealand beats India in the Champions Trophy. No way. They're still a strong side without Bumrah. That's my stake in the ground. I got a few stakes in the ground actually. Stake in the ground is going to be New Zealand takes down India in Champions Trophy. So that's going to be in the group stage. I don't know how it would work out. If that would mean New Zealand plays South Africa. Okay, if it works out my way, okay, it's going to be New Zealand plays South Africa. South Africa beat. New Zealand beat South Africa because I think that's going to happen. Afghanistan play India. I think India beat Afghanistan. Okay, like with T20 World Cup, and that means in the final will be New Zealand India. And they're gonna have to play in Abu Dhabi or whatever because it's all a hashtag. Yeah. In all the scheduling, it's all a hashtag. If India gets to the final, you've got to send them off to Mars to go play.
All of India's games are going to be in Dubai, so that's just all you have to know. All other games where India's not part of, they're all in Pakistan.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what it is. So only India's games. Whatever matches India will be involved in will be in the UAE.
So, but they're not going to make like Bangladesh fly back to Pakistan to play against New Zealand, right? They'll just play.
Yeah, they will. No, they'll
No
probably.
way.
Yeah, they'll have Bangladesh come play India and Dubai, and then fly back to Pakistan, and then play Pakistan, whoever they're playing there.
No,
Yeah,
no. Hang on,
yeah.
how's that going to work out? Hang on, let's do the math here.
I don't
So you
know
got New
how they're
Zealand.
working out the logistics, but
Well,
all I
all
know is
the.
only India's matches. All of the rest of the other matches are going to be in Pakistan.
So I got the first. So the first one. So New Zealand versus Pakistan. That will happen in Pakistan because
Yep,
it's New Zealand, Pakistan. India versus Bangladesh. It's going to be in Dubai.
Dubai. Yeah,
Okay. Then you have India, Pakistan. That's going to get played in Dubai, right?
that's right. Yep,
So they're making Pakistan leave Pakistan to go to Dubai. That's
yeah.
crazy. And then you got New Zealand, Bangladesh. So they're gonna New Zealand has to fly. No, New Zealand will stay, and
Bangladesh
Bangladesh
will
has
fly back.
have to fly back. Okay. Then you got
Fly
South
back.
Africa, Pakistan, Bangladesh. That happens in Pakistan, and then New Zealand, India, which will be played in Abu Dhabi or in Dubai.
Yeah,
So
Dubai. Yeah.
that's nuts. That's
Yep.
crazy.
That's how the schedule is going to work out. So, and if
How
they
far
make
is
a
that? Is that
semifinal, final, it's a 2 hour flight. It's not that bad. Two
Oh,
and a
it's
half
only
hour
2 hour
flight.
flight. Oh, okay, that isn't
Yeah.
that bad. I thought it was I thought it was a little further than
No, no,
that.
no. It's quick. It's literally a couple hours, and
Okay, that's not as big a deal. That would be like
you watch a
playing
movie and
North.
you're there. Kind of.
Yeah, it's like North Carolina and Texas. It really isn't that
Yeah,
far by plane. Yeah, okay, that isn't that big of a deal.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not that tiring. They can probably have it be done fairly quickly
Okay.
through their processes.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough. And it's pretty much day after the next. So like if it's like pretty much there's 2 games every 3 days kind of thing. It's like it's pretty quick. Yeah. Here we go to the chat. No,
exactly,
it's not that
man.
far away. Not that big of a deal. Short flight. Yeah, short flight. It's like LA to San Fran. Okay. It's in my head. I had it seeming like it was a lot further away than that. Considering when I flew to Singapore, that was like 12 hours or whatever. But I mean, I'm coming from Australia, so I'm not going exactly. Karachi to Abu Dhabi. I keep saying Abu Dhabi. I mean Dubai. Yeah.
Okay, we got Major League starting too, man. What in about
the post
few months? So I'm excited about that.
The Instagram came alive today. We're back. They said we're back.
Yeah,
very excited for retention.
Excited about the Major League and have some ideas brewing for content on Major League stuff.
Wow.
So stay tuned for that, and we'll be working on a few things.
Yeah, is kind of really getting that baseball cricket crossover. That's going to be a lot of the content I'm putting out. Also, is just the baseball crossover, trying to get more people involved. Similarly, like I know it's a little off, but like the NFL, the rugby league stuff, and the rugby league, the NFL season's ending, so I'm going to try to curve the Americans over to a little bit of rugby league because fantastic, they're going to love it. Big hits, it's all the stuff you like about NFL, except it's a little faster. Yeah. And I think Americans are going to jump on the cricket thing because it's just faster. It's faster than baseball. I'm not saying that it's better or whatever, worse or whatever, but it's just if you like sport and you like being entertained, it's everything you like about baseball without any of the downtime. Big hits. Who would want to see? Like I always put it to people, like you're a Yankees fan, who wouldn't want to see Aaron Judge hit 5 home runs a game, 20 home runs a game? Keep hitting a home run till you get out, son. Everyone would love that. And I don't think it doesn't diminish, the value of the home run.
I feel like once, people understand the technical aspect of cricket, more so how it is in baseball and how it is in golf, and these are technical sports, right? So you have to have a proper technique, and you have to be able to, have control over your shots and your timing and your ability. So that's where there's a component of similarity, right? With cricket, baseball, golf, you can think about tennis, racquetball, racket sports, they all have part of the same synergy where, you can, connect these sports to cricket. And I feel like once there's a better understanding into the American audience that, hey, these are the technical aspects, they're more educated, they'll be more open to trying it because right now it may just seem like, hey, somebody's coming in throwing a ball onto the ground and you're just smashing it with a flat bat. It may seem easy to some guys, like it may seem to cricket players, it may seem to cricket players, hey, baseball is easy. They're getting, these full tosses and you can smash them coming at 80, 90 miles per hour. But it's not as easy in reality, right? It's very technical. And same thing in cricket. It gets very technical. And I think the harder it is, for you to evolve that technique, there should be more people interested in it because it's a challenge, and people who like challenges would love cricket, that are into sports and that have tried new sports, learned new sports. Once they give a hand and to cricket, they will understand that, hey, I can master this, but it will take work, it will take effort, and if they're willing to do that, by all means, man, they can become pros.
Yeah, it's one of the interesting things. Like, I feel like baseball, your ability to be a great baseball player is capped by like how much it's about all power, how much power you have, how you can connect with the ball, and can you hit the ball 400 feet. If you can't hit the ball 400 feet, then you're going to struggle to be a pro baseball player. Like, I'm the only person I can think of, like David Wright, that comes to mind. I'm not huge into baseball, but
yeah,
when I got into it in 2015, he was kind of known as like a base runner, even though he can hit home runs. Like, most of what I saw is he was really good at just getting on base, being a good team player, team captain, but to really be like a huge star, you have to be able to hit those huge home runs. And then cricket is a sport where you don't have to be able to hit it 400 feet. The boundary isn't that far. So you can be a really good player if your hand-eye coordination is up there, just like a baseball player. You can transfer those skills to cricket and become very successful once you learn to hit in all different directions. But the thing that I struggle with, or that I find that will always kind of maybe hold baseball players back, is because they've never been able to hit a ball coming at their body. That's the big thing. And I actually found on my Instagram that Joan Boy replied to one of my videos. He had never commented before in any of my videos, but he commented on the video when I was talking about the fear involved in cricket is far different. Like, the psychology behind the fear and getting hit with the ball in cricket is far different than baseball. And then he put a stat, like he said, that apparently over 2,000 baseball players during last season were hit with pitches, which I'm not going to tell him that he's wrong. But I mean, like, that's a significant number of people getting hit. But the whole point is that like a cricketer hits those balls. Like, of those 2,000 balls that hit the baseballer, 1,995 of them, the cricketer connects with their bat, and it doesn't let them hit their body, because that's part of cricket. Is you meant to hit the ball. Your technique and why you hit the ball or defend the ball is you learn how to hit the ball coming at your body. You don't let it go. You don't let it hit you. It's part of the game. So, it's one of those detrimental things that baseball almost stints them from being good cricketers, where it's actually more likely that a golfer would transfer to being a good cricketer, because the golfing swing is transferable in all planes. It's all planes, right? So, I would just, it's interesting. I really want to find some baseballers to make some content with, where we set them down the other end and bowl to them, pad them up, full pads, full gear, in a thigh pad, out of thigh pad, helmet, box, everything. And then just be like, hey, I'm going to bowl to you. I'm going to bowl 120, 110, clicks, and just see what they do. It's obviously going to be awkward at start, but eventually they should be able to connect with one. Especially with
the thing with cricket, right? Like, when you're hitting, the balls that are coming to your body, it's because you can hit the ball square of the wicket, right? You can hit the ball on your right, and you can hit the ball on your left, and you can hit it behind you. In baseball, you're just trying to stay within your diamond, so it makes it much tougher for you to control an actual, ball within that diamond and lining it down the line drive, essentially, right? I mean, one of the best players in baseball that's a contact hitter. He doesn't have power of an Aaron Judge, but he plays for Kansas City Royals, Bobby Witt Jr. If you look him up, he's a monster, man. Like, the guy still hit 32 home runs last year. Averaged 332, on base percentage of 389, slugging of 588, and OPS of 977. The dude's a monster, right? But he's not the guy who's like hitting 60 plus home runs like Judge and batting 250, but he's a guy who's batting, 330 and hitting 30 home runs and driving in 100 plus runs and coming around for 100 plus runs. So in baseball, also depends if you're a contact hitter or a power hitter. Judge lands within that power hitter category, where he's going to hit you, 330, 340 because he's such a good hitter. But most power hitters are not that elite. But he's the best and the most elite one I've seen. And then Shohei Ohtani, another one from the Los Angeles Dodgers. These two guys have, broken, I feel like, MLB in the last couple of seasons, man. It's been really fun watching them and seeing what they've done. And cricket, again, to produce stars like these guys in cricket, you obviously need money, you need a system, and you need to be able to give them a lot of game time at every level. You need to have levels built in from, from high school on. You go to college. After college, you go through level 1, level 2, and then you get into your minor league, major league, and then potentially USA cricket. And you have to perform at every level, every step of the way for you to get a promotion to the next level. Right? That's what makes you a better player. And I think that's what we're lacking, here. And hope is that we can build that out over time, right? We have some pieces to work with now. And, as long as we continue to bring more cricket to people and, have the younger kids be educated to go to schools and start their own clubs, I think we can get into Division 1. We can get into a college system where we can, produce athletes in college. So that would be the best.
Yeah. So something that I thought about during the week that I think is interesting. I'm going to come back to the college thing in a minute, but something that Americans may not realize, or baseball fans might not realize, but like cricket is a very unique sport where you have boys playing with men. So like here in the States, how it works is you go Pee Wee League, you're playing your high school league, you're playing your college league, and then you play your AAA or whatever. But by the time you leave college, you're 23, 24, 25, whatever, how long you stay at college. You're playing against people your own age. Maybe once you get to AAA, the age gap widens a little bit. Maybe you got some veterans playing AAA. You got some younger guys playing. Yeah. And then you go to the MLB. Maybe you have some veterans playing against some younger guys. But in cricket, at 15 or 14 or 15, you can go and play opens. Like you go play grade cricket. Like when I was 14, 15, I was playing open division men's cricket. Like, so I got like 30-year-old men coming down bowling 140 clicks at me at 15 years of age. Like you don't have that in any other sport. I don't think as another sport. I was trying to rack my brain. Even if you go to football, or soccer, it doesn't cross over like that. But in cricket, it does. And like you actually grow as a human being. Like it's something that I really say like built my character as a person. And the reason why I am why people may say I'm like different. People that meet me in real life, I'm a little bit different than everyone else. A lot of things don't affect me like other people do. It's because from a young age, I had to solve problems. Like I'm 15 years of age and someone's bowling 140 clicks to me and I'm opening the batting. Like, so you have to like figure that out. You know what I mean? That's scary. And then you mature so much faster. You learn so much faster. You think a little quicker. You got to think so quick. Like that ball's coming 140 clicks. You got to think quick. And then you grow these players. And that's how these players get to where they are, especially in Australian cricket. We build these stars because they get accelerated through the program so fast. And they're playing against people that are way above where they are.
Level,
their level. And then by the time they peak, like their peak fitness and their peak physical catches up to them. And that's why we have, I think, this big gap, why Australian cricket is like they do so well. I don't know how it works in India. I don't know if you have a similar, or Pakistan but I think it does work similarly across the thing. Like even here, like some of the guys that are playing for Greenwave in New Milford, they're playing against men. They're playing in the men's comp and they're 15, and they're holding their own. You know what I mean? And they're playing against guys that are legit bowlers and, real speed, real balls, and they're holding their own. I think that's something really different about cricket. That's maybe not, it's kind of unknown fact about it, that you kind of like, you develop a lot more as a human because you're playing against men as a young fella.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where our idea is, if we're putting our club team out in the New York National League, so we can provide a higher level of competition to, our top tier younger talent, that's coming through and, have an opportunity of leading this, group of young and experienced players and, making sure that they get through and learn how to compete at the high level, and give it their all, because once, as you said, they start to fill up, they start to improve, they're going to become dominant players because they've been playing with higher quality cricketers, and they understand what they're required to do to go back to the drawing board and what kind of work to put in. So all of that, just by playing better players, you learn more. You get to understand the basics at a fundamental level more, and how to apply them, how to execute them. So I believe that's what we're looking to do with the youth in our club. So really looking forward to the season ahead, and shout out to the New York National Cricket League, for getting us in there, and they still have a few slots open in their Saturday or Sunday Division A or less. So if you guys want to get in there, reach out to Ramesh.
Definitely come there to do some commentary. One more thing that I'm touching on, I'm going to go back to the college thing. I don't know if you noticed during the Super Bowl, but there was a commercial for flag football to become an NCAA sport. Did you notice that ad? You might have.
I didn't. I didn't see it.
So it was 30-second. Yeah, 30-second ad. I was like, I was verbally, I did it audible. I was like, are you kidding me? We can't even get cricket in the NCAA. We got to get flag football. But fair enough, flag football is going to be in the Olympics. So fair enough. If the sport here we go. Hot take right here. What a take right here. If your sport is in the Olympics, you need an NCAA category for it. Done. Put it into the college system. If it's going to be an NCAA, if it's going to be in the Olympics, it needs to be a college sport.
Absolutely.
Done. Drop the mic
we
on that
need 20 colleges with Division I programs. So all colleges that are watching
easy.
Us,
Can I go back to college to play cricket? Is that legal?
Yeah, seriously, man. Honestly,
what can I go back? I'll study something. Just whatever. Yeah. Astronomy.
If there are youth kids that are graduating high school, going to college, this year or next year, when you go to school, make sure that they have a cricket club. If they don't, you have to start one at your college, because you never know, that club can turn into a Division I program, and we need as many college cricket clubs as possible. And I'm sure wherever you go to school, there's going to be a league somewhere around in the area. So create a club, create a team, join the league, and just start playing through your college. And once you get some support from your school and other areas, you never know where it can go, man. And Division I programs is what we need. And the start is to have these cricket clubs, pop up all across colleges across the US. So if you guys are in school, start your own clubs. Yeah.
I mean, we're in an area where technically we could go down to Yale and UConn. I mean, sure, Yale has a cricket team. They have to have one, right? There must be.
I think they do. They play hard tennis, or maybe hardball.
Yale's like not an early. Yeah, like a preppier school, a very English style school. They play rugby. There's a big rugby team down there.
They do. They have a rugby team.
And then you could get Yale and UConn. They could put together. I mean, there's enough cricket players here that I'm sure they go to college that you could put a UConn. Imagine if UConn comes up with a cricket team. They've already got a good basketball system. They can come up with a good cricket system. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's not hard. I'm sure you can find a team of players throughout these big colleges.
And we have some youth players that are in UConn right now in their club that actually are going to UConn. So, maybe sit down with them, see if they have a team. If they don't, we should actually work with them. It's a good idea.
Yeah, put it together, because
on board.
This is because it's the PR and the marketing and how to get the news. Imagine if it's UConn puts together a cricket team. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, we're gonna play in the Connecticut League, or we're gonna play a game against Yale, or whatever. What's the big Boston College? What's the big one in Boston? The big law one?
Boston University?
No, the other one. The
MIT.
MIT, that's also one. The other big one. The lawyer one.
Harvard.
Jeez. Harvard. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I was like, I had it in my head and I left it. But imagine if you had Harvard and Yale, they're the old school colleges, man. They've got all the things. They probably have croquet and golf.
And they probably have interest too there, where they actually have people who would play. So
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a connection we could find between like the olden days, like 1709. International USA was the first international team. All the founding fathers played cricket. Baseball wasn't even invented yet. I'm sure we can find a connection between one of these older colleges and cricket, and then like get it going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? That's front page. It's like, oh, Yale versus Harvard, cricket. Or like
that would really be great,
team.
man. I mean, that would put Ivy League on the map. So
yeah.
I don't know if they have these
I'll
Ivy League.
have to go back to college. You get a law degree or something, so I can go and play cricket for college.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
College cricket at 35.
Hey, I would follow you. I'd be like, hey, I'm 36. Let's go. Roll me in. Sign me up.
Let's go.
I'll get another master's,
As long as I don't have to go to class. I'll just I'll
just be like, give me online classes. I'll do another master's, I'll sleep through the stuff, do the discussion, do what I gotta do.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
Solving the world's problems right here. What a pod. Rocking up.
Absolutely.
Look at this
good pod, man. Good pod. And I wanna end this pod actually with us trying to predict the top 10 players to watch in Major League Cricket in 2025. Adam.
Oh, I love this. I love this.
We're going to pick this off from next week. So let's,
you do 5, I do 5? You do 5, I do 5. We'll volley. You pick one, I'll pick one. You pick one, I'll pick one. And we'll go.
I like that. Let's go. You go number 10.
Okay, at 10. I guess I'm going to save my best to last. We go to USA players or just everyone? Anyone coming over?
I think anyone within the entire Major League. It could be an overseas player. It could be anybody that's playing for the team. So,
I think big runs. I got a couple coming to mind. I think Finn Allen again makes some big runs this year for MLC. I think he should get reclaimed. What's the word? Reclaimed. Recalled. He gets
recalled.
Whatever. I think he played. San Francisco should keep him back. So I think he gets some runs. Finn Allen, number 10.
Sounds good. So Finn Allen, Adam's gone. Let us know what you guys think too in the comments. We want to know your top 10 players to watch. So drop it in the chat what you guys think. So Adam's one with Finn Allen at 10. I think I will go with, let's see. I think I'm going to go with one of our young homegrown talent, Sai Teja Mukamala. I'm going to go with Mukamala. A promising young American talent. He's been impressive in domestic cricket and in international cricket, and I think he could be a breakout star in MLC.
Which team is he on? Has he got recruited yet?
He plays for Texas Super Kings, I believe.
Super Kings. Okay. I don't know who their spinner is, but that's this Mukamala. He bats. He doesn't spin, right? No, that's the other guy.
No.
That's
what I'm going with. We got Finn Allen and we got Mukamala.
If Mukamala, he'd be playing with Faf du Plessis. That would be a cool experience for him. That's really cool.
That's right.
Okay, so I'm going to go number 9. I guess number 8. This is not in any order, but Rickleton, I think, is another good opening bat. He's going to be playing for the Orcas. Really good batter. He's playing really good for South Africa. I think he's going to be up there, top 5 run scorers in the tournament. Rickleton, my 8 spot.
8, Rickleton. All right, let's see who I want to go with on 7, man. I think I will. I think I will go with. I'm not sure about the injury of Heinrich Norche from South Africa because he's been injured, but I feel like if he comes back to MLC and he's fit, he's gonna again have a huge impact.
Norkie, like from South Africa?
Heinrich Norkia, Norchi.
Yeah. He didn't play a lot last year. He didn't play.
He was hurt. He was hurt, and he was even before the South Africa's games this year. I think he was pulled out of the squad because of some injury.
He must have happened right after the World Cup because the World Cup rolled into thing. That's very interesting.
That's right. So if he's fit, man, he's a beast. So
he's a very good bowler.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go. Let's switch to a bowler. Let's go. Who we have bowling that I'm a big fan of? Oh, Ali Khan. Ali Khan's gonna be back. Big Ali Khan. Ali Khan. Love to see Ali Khan back in the T20. Doing it for the Knight Riders over there. Ali Khan. Love to see Ali Khan.
That's right. Guys, he didn't say Nabil Khan. He said Ali Khan. Just so you guys heard it. I'm just messing with you. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with another Khan since we're on the Khan team here. Nabil Khan, Ali Khan. Let's go with Rashid Khan. You know
Rashid Khan.
The Afghan spinner. I think he's gonna have
Rashid
again
Khan.
a top major league. So he's probably my number 5 spot, man.
On that for a second, I mean, the MI Cape Town just won their tournament. I mean, that team just travels around together. It's basically the same team. It's got Gannon, it's got Rashid Khan. They're just traveling around the world doing their thing. They're going to be another. They didn't do that well last season. You know, I think a lot of their success was built off the back of Puran, which, I mean, we could throw that in the mix here. Another someone to watch. I mean, Puran didn't really. He had a couple good games. But I think they need someone else up there scoring some big runs, top of the order. Taylor plays for them. He really needs to get some big runs for them to really be successful this year because their bowling is like class. Who's my next player? I'm going to go. Well, I can't forget about Hamid Singh. Hamid Singh's the one to watch. He's definitely going to be, you know, one of the best wicket takers right now in T20s across the world. You know, his economy rate right now is 5 and over. He averages 2 wickets a game. Very, very good. Hamid Singh, Orcas, one to watch.
Orcas, man. I think I'm gonna go with another one of our American players in Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones with the Seattle Orcas, if I'm not wrong, right? And
yeah. Hopefully he gets retained by them. Yeah.
I think he's gonna have a monster season. You know, upcoming with Orcas, he's gonna be solidifying, you know, that middle order for them. And I think he's going to be a match winner in a lot of the games for them this season.
Yeah. Then we maybe have 2 more each, maybe. Let's go. Same. We haven't touched on the Washington Freedom. We haven't given them a shout out, but keeping with the USA, Andreas Gauss, I think he has another big season. His batting form is incredible right now. I think he is top 5. I think it's really like Rickleton, Finn Allen, Andreas Gauss. Faflu Bassi probably still makes a big impact there at most runs. So yeah, Andreas Gauss, I think over with the Freedom, they're going to be defending champs. They're going to be doing some good stuff. Gauss to score some big runs.
Yeah, I think I'm going to throw a West Indian in there for fun of it. So Shimron Hetmeyer, he's with the Seattle Orcas as well. And I think he is aggressive batting style, you know, will fit right in, and he will add a lot of firepower to the Orcas middle order. So I think he's another guy to watch for in this MLC season. He's proven for the West Indies to, you know, be a really big power hitter in T20 cricket. And I think he brings his skills to the Orcas, which, you know, Orcas is looking good, man. I think if we had to, you know, I think next week we will finish with, you know, naming our best teams, like the teams from best to worst. And I think Seattle Orcas is up there, man, in the top 2, you know, this year.
Solid.
Yeah, so they're looking solid. So that's my pick is Hetmeyer. And I think we got one more left.
One more left. Let's try to think. We've done plenty of. Oh, I know who it is. We've done plenty of batters. We're gonna have a bowler. Keeping with the USA. I mean, the USA players are class. Got to go with Netravolker. He's gonna be. He's with the Freedom. I believe. He's with the Freedom player. Yeah. I mean that lineup is. You know, they're going to be up there again chasing the title. Such a good team.
Yeah.
You know, and Netravolker, looking for him to take those big wickets. You know, he for those that don't realize, he was the leading wicket taker and didn't play all the games. I think he only played 7 matches and took 12 wickets, something like 14 wickets, something like that. Yeah. He was a leading wicket taker that didn't play every game. So he was just that good. Coming off big wins in the World Cup and stuff like that. Getting out Coley for a duck. Love that. Absolutely love that. That's
good, man. Well, for the last spot, I have an option to go with an all-rounder from Australia, one or the other. So I've got Glenn Maxwell or Marcus Stoinis. So
is he gonna be retained? I mean, I guess he retired from.
I think so. He retired from ODI cricket. So I feel like he's probably gonna bring a lot of his energy here in Major League Cricket and could have a really big season. But I think I'm gonna go with Glenn Maxwell.
Okay.
You know, Maxie is just, you know, class on his day. When he's on song, you know, he's gonna win you the game single-handedly. But you know, I think he's gonna have a good season, and you know, under Ricky Ponting and, you know, that entire squad. So Washington Freedom on on with Seattle Orcas. I think is another team that's occupies that top 2 strongest team spots, in my opinion. Starting the season, how things are looking. But there's going to be retention lists, other things coming out soon. Major League Cricket announced earlier today that they'll start to get things rolling. So as we get those updates, we're going to bring those updates to you guys. But this was a fun little segment of doing top 10 players to watch in Major League 2025, Major League Cricket 2025 to end our night on this pod. Adam, as always, man, it was fun. Guys, let us know any questions and comments you guys have or concerns. Drop them into the comments. Make sure to check out our membership section. And you guys can, connect with Adam and I, further on our communities. So definitely check out our membership section. Check out the Reverse Scoop shop. You can support youth cricket development on the grassroots level. We support New Milford Cricket Club, nonprofit, that actually helps all the youth and cricketers in the area to come and practice and do everything essentially for free. We don't take charges from the kids. We have a community that donates to the entire process. So check that out. You can support the cause and grow cricket on the grassroots. Check out Adam's new podcast that'll be dropping soon, What a Take podcast. I think that's all I have for the night. Adam, anything else you got, man?
That's it. We're gonna be dialing in one more week, I think, before Champions Trophy. Absolutely. So it's all happening. The pod, we're having the new pod Thursday, my Thursday night. I guess a couple of nights from now. Yeah. Getting it all finalized. So it should launch this weekend. It should be
absolutely
ready to rock and roll.
So we got a pod for that this week. Guys, be on the lookout. We'll drop some links in the groups and in the communities across the board. Make sure to stay tuned until next week. Adam Fannin and Nabil Khan from the Reverse Scoop calling it a night. Thank you very much.